In 2026, I want you all to move like Tony, man. Because I'm trying to move like Tony too. We love Tony. I'm a Bruce Wayne guy. That's my favorite comic character, Marvel, DC, that genre. We ain't talking about manga today. I like Bruce Wayne, but I like Tony. Tony is a dog. I want you to move like Tony Stark. I'm trying to move like Tony Stark in 2026. And we're going to talk about how we can make that happen. First and foremost, if you ever seen the movie The Godfather, no, not The Godfather, Scarface, sorry. I just marathon Godfather with my mama. So it's been in my mind. Watch Scarface. Tony talks about, oh my goodness, Tony and Tony. That was not planned. That's funny. Okay, I guess if you a Tony, you rigatoni, man. You about it. But when it comes to Tony Stark, we look at the fact that he got the money, and that's what we talk about in Scarface. First you get the money, then you get the power, and you get the women, right? So step number 1 in 2026, I want you guys to prioritize money. That's gonna be the biggest thing, man. Pay off that debt. That's step 1. Just drop everything, man. Just pause your 401k. I don't even do 401k anymore, man. That's how little I believe in it, because you got to live in the moment. But that's separate. That's controversial as all hell. Pay off your debt. That's number 1, man. Start from there. Pay off your debt. Cut up your credit cards if that works for you. Really cut them up, toss them out. Pay the debt off, and then figure out how you're gonna make the money. And making the money starts with really analyzing the lifestyle that you want. I mean, having money and to do things that you like is it's going to be different for everybody. It's going to be different. You have to figure out what that financial freedom means to you. Maybe for someone it's just being able to have a 4-bedroom house with 1 car. That's financial freedom. We all come from different backgrounds, man. Not all of us grew up in the Estados Unidos, I'm not Latin. But my pride is. I hope you got that reference, that 70s show. I love Fez. Anyways, you got to figure out, what your mission is. And I want you to sit down and write it out in 2026. Like, what's an ideal place you see yourself at the end of the year? Okay. And then get to making that money. But, I said Tony Stark energy. And you ain't going to tell me my man Tony ain't dapper when he walk in the room. So I want you to up your suit game. I want you to start investing in a tailor. I want you to look good. You know what I want you to do? I want you to try this experiment. If you're someone like me that loves traveling and you're a frequent traveler, I want you to, instead of rocking those, Nike tech suits on the plane, I want you to pull up in a suit. I want you to wear a suit and tie on the plane. Get a nice watch. If you don't have a good watch, no excuses, man. Go to Kohl's. You can get like a $30 watch out there. It's not an ad. There's no excuse for not having a watch, man. You could probably find a free one on Marketplace. Get you a watch, get you a nice watch, get you a suit, hop on that plane. I guarantee you, man, people are they're gonna add a little bit of respect on your name when they talk to you. People are gonna love talking to you because they're gonna think that you're somebody. Try that for me, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Dress better, make that money, dress better. And of course, we have to add the gym, man. I want you guys to get in the gym. I want you to live and breathe fitness, man. I want you to realize that we only have one body. And this is coming from a guy that, has partaken in his fair share of the hazy habits, man. So we only got one body, though. Take care of it. I'm not saying you need to go out there looking like Ronnie Coleman. No. Just eat good, do some push-ups. Do some sit-ups, do some chin-ups. All of those exercises are great. They're fantastic. Do that stuff. You don't need to look like Arnie. But, get your jogs in. Pick up boxing. Try something new. And that's the most... And I think that's the last gist of it here is like the comfort zone, right? If you watch, Iron Man movies, or maybe if we're going off of comic lore and stuff, Tony Stark was... he was different. Yeah, he had the playboy persona, but he had to really step out of his comfort zone to kind of go through what he did, with, getting his suit and stuff like that. You got to step out of your comfort zone. That's what I want you to do in 2026. I want you to just walk up to people, okay? I want you to talk to them. You suck at talking. I don't care. Do it, man. For anybody that knows a thing or two about the MBTI testing, I'm an INFJ. I mean, I'm as quiet as they come. I'm a rare personality, archetype, whatever have you, man. But I literally force myself to talk to people, and it drains my battery. It really does, man. It really does. But I find an odd satisfaction in making myself uncomfortable. I kind of embraced awkwardness. I feel like the laugh that you get out of it, it's so worth it. Just so like go out there, be awkward, have fun, man. Most importantly, have fun. Keep all these things in mind. I hope whoever's watching this video, maybe you're younger than me, maybe you're older. I'm 30. I'm 30 even. I'm on my Stefan Curry. I want to just find inspiration through these videos for myself too. It's nice to pull this up. I'm sure I'll pull this up, this video, rewatch it and just remind myself. But, make those moves. Invest in the stock market. That is so huge, man. That's something that it's never too late to start, but you always wish you did it sooner. Forget about real estate, man. Don't no, okay, don't forget about real estate. It really depends on where you are in the process. Some people are at that stage. I think real estate that's the last thing in the wealth building process, man. Save that for the end. Do everything else before you get to the real estate part. It takes a high level of commitment and maturity to be a landlord or even do commercial. I've never gone commercial. I've done residential properties. I've dibble dabbled. I'm not in it anymore. And that's just because I find so much more pleasure in using different methods to make my money, to try to aspire towards that. So, yeah, you wanna figure out what works for you, man. You could sell jewelry. I love jewelry. Sell jewelry, man. Sell kicks online. Find something fun. 2026, we're gonna have fun making that money. We're gonna make those YouTube videos. Make YouTube videos with me. Yeah, I love seeing that. I've been making YouTube videos for a decade, my friends. I go back and forth, back and forth. They keep pulling me back in. I love Al Pacino, favorite actor. Yeah, figure out a way you can be more expressive, man. We need expression, but just don't be evil, because fortunately we live in that day and age where we're hearing a lot of backwards, hayward, terrible things. We're hearing terrible things from people. People are pushing the wrong type of movements. So I don't want that for y'all. So let's compile everything again. The whole purpose of this is I want you to move like Tony Stark. I want you to make that money. I want you to be uncomfortable when you're talking to women. I want you to hone your craft. I want you to learn how to cook. Okay? I want you to cook stuff that's hard. Like make leg of lamb, man. Put that thing on the smoker for 8 hours, my guy. Put yourself through stuff that's going to teach you patience. Meditate, do these things. And most importantly, realize that you can't compromise your values even for yourself. When Tony needs to suit up in that suit and get the job done, he don't listen to himself. He don't listen to his girl. It's what needs to be done. I'm going to leave you with that. I hope y'all enjoyed the gameplay. I want this to be just like a straight up hangout spot for us, man, where we just talk, we have fun with it. We're breaking away from conformity. We're breaking away from structure. This is my mission.